left, even the young people who are today living, they'll come back. We want to bring them back. Nigerians are prepared to come back if they can find that they have a country to go back to.
As a Nigerian based abroad, either in UK, London or Canada, this video is very important to you. Every month, you send money home. Every election season, you argue online. Every 4 years, you hope Nigeria finally gets it right. But what if the real issue is not just who wins, but the type of leadership culture Nigeria chooses? Since 1999, Nigeria has earned vast oil revenues, yet insecurity grows, inflation bites harder, and the naira weakens. Many of you left not because you hated Nigeria, but because the system failed to reward hard work. Now, the big question ahead of 2027 is simple. Does Nigeria need a different kind of leader? One known for prudence, low-profile politics, and no EFCC conviction after leaving office? For millions of Nigerians abroad, the name Peter Obi represents something different. But is that difference enough to reset Africa's largest economy? Can fiscal discipline at the top rebuild investor confidence, or is Nigeria's crisis too deep for symbolism alone? Let's examine carefully why many believe Nigeria needs Peter Obi and whether that belief holds weight. For Nigerians abroad, trust is everything. You live in countries where institutions function, taxes are accounted for, public budgets are scrutinized, leaders resign over scandals. Then you look back at Nigeria and see repeated cycles of corruption allegations, abandoned projects, and political excess. The emotional disconnect grows wider. Supporters of Obi argue that Nigeria needs him because trust must be rebuilt before economic recovery can begin. During his time as governor, Obi built a reputation around fiscal prudence and cautious spending. Reports indicated that he left office with savings and relatively low debt compared to many other states at the time.
The day I left office, I wasn't owing any contractor that have delivered this project. I wasn't owing any supplier that have delivered. I was not owing pension, gratuity, salary, or anybody. And I can say that in 3 banks in Nigeria, Access Bank, Fidelity Bank, and Diamond Bank, I left in each $50 million, over 10 billion naira for the states.
Why does this matter to someone in the diaspora? Because trust influences investment decisions. Many Nigerians abroad hesitate to expand businesses back home due to fear of policy inconsistency or political instability. A leader perceived as disciplined sends a psychological signal to investors, both local and foreign, that governance may become more predictable. Since leaving office in 2014, Obi has not been convicted or formally charged by the EFCC. In Nigeria's political climate, where several former governors have faced prosecution, that absence strengthens his credibility narrative. It does not automatically prove perfection, but perception plays a powerful role in politics. Diaspora Nigerians often compare Nigeria's governance to what they experience abroad. In Canada or the UK, public officials are expected to explain budgets clearly. In the United States, transparency debates dominate public discourse. Many abroad ask whether Nigeria needs a leader who prioritizes accountability and numbers over political theatrics. Critics argue that running a state is different from running a federation of over 200 million. They caution that national security, oil revenue management, and federal negotiations require broader coalition-building skills. Still, supporters insist that leadership tones set institutional culture. If the presidency signals discipline, ministries may follow. For Nigerians abroad who want a country stable enough to return to or confidently invest in, rebuilding trust is not symbolic, it is practical. And that is why many see Obi's reputation as an important starting point. Nigeria's fiscal situation deeply concerns diaspora Nigerians who monitor exchange rates daily. The naira's fluctuations affect remittances, family expenses, and business plans. Debt servicing consumes a significant portion of federal revenue, leaving limited room for infrastructure and social investment. Supporters argue that Obi's emphasis on prudence directly addresses this crisis. During his tenure in Anambra, he consistently spoke about saving during good times to cushion difficult periods. He framed governance as financial stewardship rather than political celebration. For Nigerians abroad, this resonates strongly. Many of you understand budgeting discipline because you operate in structured economies. You save, invest, and plan long-term. The frustration arises when Nigeria appears to spend without comparable discipline. Obi frequently argues that Nigeria must shift from consumption to production.
If you borrow for production, you get it right. This country started on the right footing. The first loan ever requested by this country was in June 1964, requesting to borrow $82 million to build Kainji Dam.
Instead of importing nearly everything from fuel to finished goods, he advocates investment in agriculture, small industries, and manufacturing. For diaspora entrepreneurs considering exporting goods or establishing factories, this production-focused message aligns with long-term economic stability. However, critics question whether fiscal discipline alone can solve structural problems like insecurity, energy shortages, and global oil price volatility. They argue that macroeconomic reform requires cooperation with the central bank, National Assembly, and state governments. Still, leadership philosophy matters. A president focused on cost reduction may push for smaller convoys, fewer unnecessary foreign trips, and leaner governance structures. Even symbolic reductions can set new standards for accountability. Diaspora Nigerians often ask, if I can manage my household budget abroad with discipline, why can't Nigeria manage its national budget responsibly? Supporters believe Obi's messaging speaks directly to that frustration. Whether prudence at the top can significantly alter Nigeria's debt trajectory remains debated, but for many abroad, the appeal lies in the mindset, a belief that leadership must first respect scarcity before demanding sacrifice from citizens. Politics is not only policy, it is symbolism. Many Nigerians abroad are tired of images of political extravagance while ordinary citizens struggle. Convoys stretching dozens of vehicles, luxury displays, and visible wealth create resentment, especially among youths who see limited meritocratic opportunity. Obi's public image contrasts with that culture. Stories of flying commercial blights or maintaining a relatively modest public lifestyle circulate widely. Supporters interpret this as consistency between message and behavior. In a political environment often defined by contradiction, consistency becomes powerful. For diaspora Nigerians raising children abroad, leadership example matters deeply. Many want their children to maintain pride in Nigeria, not embarrassment about corruption headlines. A leader who appears modest provides a narrative shift. The 2023 election cycle revealed something significant: youth mobilization. The movement, popularly called Obedient, energized first-time voters and Nigerians abroad who felt politically disengaged for years. Social media campaigns extended from Lagos to London and from Abuja to Atlanta. Supporters argue that this generational shift signals readiness for new political expectations. They believe Obi's appeal among younger demographics indicates a hunger for data-driven governance rather than traditional patronage politics. Critics argue that social media enthusiasm does not automatically translate into nationwide coalition strength. Nigeria's electoral success requires regional balancing, northern alliances, and strategic negotiation across ethnic lines. Still, recognize something important: leadership that inspires youth can reduce brain drain. Many left Nigeria because they saw limited merit-based opportunity. A leader perceived as valuing competence and production over political loyalty might gradually slow that exodus. Symbolism alone cannot build roads or defeat insurgency, but symbolism can change national psychology. For a country battling cynicism, psychological renewal matters. For Nigerians abroad watching from a distance, lifestyle consistency reinforces credibility. It suggests that leadership may not only speak differently, but act differently. The most important question for Nigerians abroad is not whether Obi appears disciplined, but whether that discipline can scale to a federal level. Nigeria is not a small state. It is Africa's largest economy and most populous nation. Federal leadership requires managing security crises, oil revenues, exchange rate pressures, and complex regional politics. It requires negotiation with governors, lawmakers, and international partners. Supporters argue that disciplined leadership at the top influences the entire system. If the presidency reduces waste, demands performance metrics, and prioritizes measurable targets, ministries may adapt accordingly. They believe Nigeria's biggest problem is not lack of talent, but lack of accountability. Diaspora Nigerians often compare Nigeria's system with what they experience abroad. In the UK, the Prime Minister answers directly to Parliament. In the United States, congressional hearings scrutinize budgets publicly. Many abroad believe Nigeria needs stronger executive accountability. Critics counter that structural reform requires more than personal prudence. It demands institutional overhaul, judiciary reform, procurement transparency, civil service restructuring, and security sector modernization. They question whether one leader, regardless of discipline, can overcome entrenched interests. Yet, supporters maintain that every institutional reform begins with leadership will. If a president demonstrates consistency in cost-cutting, production focus, and anti-corruption signaling, that example may gradually reshape expectations across federal and state governments. For Nigerians abroad, the ultimate concern is stability. Stable exchange rates, predictable policy, safer investment climate, the ability to return home without fear of economic collapse. Whether Peter Obi can deliver that transformation remains a political debate, but the reason many Nigerians abroad support him is clear. They see in his record a possibility of fiscal discipline, reduced flamboyance, and renewed institutional trust. And for millions abroad who still call Nigeria home, even from thousands of miles away, that possibility is worth serious consideration.